Hey everyone, it's Ivan, kitbatcher.com, out here to tell you about my hunt 2024 down at Joker's Wild Outdoors. I've been fortunate to hunt down here for a number of years now, and incredible property, tons of game, and actually came down twice this year. So as of filming this, came down about a week ago. Reason being essentially my schedule with my boys, week on, week off, and school year. So basically over the last weekend, but week ago of now. But tons of fun. Came down with my oldest son, Jada, made an awesome shot, dropped a beautiful doe at, I don't know, a little over 200 yards. And where it was, man, he did a really good job. He actually did a bunch of work helping actually get it all gutted out this year, more so than in the past, which super proud of him. And then we had to get the thing out of there though. So we took turns. I think he took one turn, I took two turns, basically shouldering this thing and getting it up to where we could actually get a vehicle to it, get that thing out of there, get it at the skinning shack, finish it. But really awesome time. However, did not feel my tags. So I was like, man, I need to get back down there. So came back down, and sure enough, lucked out that first evening. And yeah, got really lucky. Down. .450 yards up, 1.5 mils. Have kind of a wind going this way. I didn't even bother holding for wind. Leave it. Leave it. So I don't want to fall in that same bog Peanut fell into. I think I'll take a different route. No comment. Peanut is super excited. So am I, because I have meat for the freezer. Where is Peanut when I'm hunting? He is basically sleeping in the back of a car. So he's pretty excited to be out. be honest, I had no idea how big this buck was at all until I just saw Peanut run up to him, and he is magnificent. Like, big body, lots of meat for my family. Atypical also. Looks like this one got busted, probably fighting for the ladies. Incredible. When I initially saw that, there was no frame of reference, and I'm like, it doesn't look like a very big buck. I know it's at least a 2x2, but and when I say big buck, I'm looking for a big body. Like, don't care about the rack. It's going to go in the freezer. I really did not realize how big of a buck that was until Peanut ended up running up to him, and I'm just like, dang, man, that's a really big deer. So super stoked. Bunch of meat in the freezer. And after that, still kept hunting. Still have a cow elk tag. And so pretty much in the morning, we'd go set up from beginning of shooting light about a half an hour before sunrise to a couple hours after. And same within the evening for the next couple days. And overall, had an incredible time out here, just seeing tons of wildlife, all kinds of stuff. Did not, however, get on an elk. They're definitely here because some other people got on them. It's just one of those where there's always deer around. The elk, they'll come down from the mountains and then they'll go back up. So it's a matter of timing and luck. But yeah, didn't work out for me with the elk this year, but had an incredible time, and yeah, super grateful to fill a freezer with a bunch of amazing meat. Quick rundown on some of the gear that I actually used and really came in handy. One, this right here, I don't think I reviewed it. It's called the Killow, play on pillow, by Sawtooth rifles, and you can use it as a shooting bag, like throw this on top of a fence post, shoot off of it. More often than not, I sit on it, and it's awesome. It's comfortable, especially you're basically going to be sitting for good 2 to 3 hours. So being able to sit on this conforms to the ground, conforms to your butt, super comfortable and insulated, pretty key. That first evening, getting my deer out, definitely use this. This is the Surefire Minimus, I believe it is, and amazing headlamp. Usually wear it around my neck. I like it because you can basically adjust. One, you can adjust the output and you can adjust the beam angle. Really cool, and yeah, incredibly helpful. Then of course, going out to get said deer, my deer, we actually went out on a side-by-side, which was really nice. Also not super warm. I brought these guys right here. These are the Guide Light gloves by Beyond. They're nice and comfortable. You could shoot with them. I generally didn't because I was basically hands in pockets, but driving out on a side-by-side, I absolutely put those on. Those were key. And then speaking of that side-by-side, this right here is the Surefire Stiletto Pro 2, I guess it is. It is their high candela. It's pretty much like a huge spotlight. It's pretty wild, but it fits in your pocket. And so this actually came in handy because where we had to go was through all these willow bottoms, and one, this is brighter than the high beams on that side-by-side, and two, I can point it any direction. So while it's driving this way, I'm panning like, hey, there's a break in the willows, like let's cut through over there. So that actually was really handy. I'm glad I had it for that. Then we get into, well, I guess quick note on layers. This right here, I believe, is the Beyond Alpha Aura jacket, I think, and really comfortable. Pretty much wore it the entire time. And this right here is my high loft from Wild Things gear. Same with the pants, really easy to zip them on over boots, throw this thing on over whatever I'm wearing, and just go be stationary and static for a long time, a couple hours, and still be really comfortable, which is super important. Before I get into the gun, I'll mention this. it's funny because so many people are like, man, I need to get this gun and this optic and all this. You're going to spend most of your time looking through binos, like, truth be told. And so good binos, definitely important. Really enjoying these. These are the Killow 10K by 6 Hour Gen 2 laser range finding binos. One, really nice and clear glass, and even in that fading light, especially think shooting light, basically either before sunrise or right after sunset, do a great job gathering light. You can see really well, and being able to range with these, super key, because the alternative is you have binos for glassing and a rangefinder. And so glass, figure out what you're looking at, then get your rangefinder, which usually not super great to find stuff. It's usually like 7x, little tiny lens. Find whatever you were looking at, then range it, and then you get over to your rifle. This, you're looking, bam, hit it. All of your information right there, come ups and everything. So these were really handy. Which then brings me to this setup right here. This is amazing. Number of things. One, start here, this tripod. This is by Ultradyne USA. Great tripod. I actually like this ball head, works well. And the legs adjust out, so you can basically find a really comfortable, low, stable position, usually shooting sitting. And then this rifle, amazing. If you saw the video, basically went and built this with Aero Precision. It is their Solus in 6mm Creedmoor. And on here I actually have the Lahar. This is their Lahar can. They also have a K can, which is shorter, and then a long can, which, go figure, is longer. On here I have Seekins rings, bubble level here, also this diving board. Done some shooting with pretty cool laser rangefinder up top. Did not use it for this. And then up front here I have the 100 Concepts, their Sobchack Pro. Pretty neat. Basically, not that I need it, it's essentially a kill flash up front, and more than anything it was nice to just be able to protect the glass when I wasn't using it. And then back here, I guess we'll turn it the other way, I have this dope card from Sobchack Security LLC. And then as far as ammo goes, shooting this right here, this is the Hornady, I want to say it's their CX. It is a solid copper 90 grain. I think it's marketed for California because California doesn't use lead because they're so environmentally friendly. They destroy it otherwise. But those things out of this chronographed, I think the average was like 3,353 feet per second. It's going fast. And lastly on here, this right here is the Leupold Mk5 HD 3.6 to 18. And it has, I believe, their Trimmer 3 reticle in it. And awesome, awesome glass. So how did this setup do? Well, it did really well. And part of the reason it did well, one, know your capabilities, work within them. And I guess with that in mind, have competence and be confident. I definitely had that with this setup. I've shot it a number of times. I actually shot this in a PRS match, obviously different ammo. But then most recently, like, I don't know, 3 days before I came down here, took this thing back out. One, because I wanted to make sure I was zeroed in my velocities and everything with that new ammo. And took it out to Rock Lake Rifle Range. Amazing range, goes out like, I don't know, 1,400 yards, just steel all over the place. Shot a number of different guns, to include this with basically another setup using that ballistic laser rangefinder up top on the diving board, and then switched over to that solid copper. Confirmed 0, basically, I don't know, 3/4 inch black pasty, all 3 rounds in it at 100. I'm like, all right, I will take that, acceptable. And then basically walk this thing out, and it did everything I asked of it. $1,047, 8.91. Shoot Impact. First round hit. Alright, I'll send one more. Holding 8.91. Impact. Bam! Shooting onto the silhouette.
Copy.
Impact. First round hit. Alright, I'll send one more. Holding 8.91. Impact. Bam! So then fast forward to that first night down here on my hunt, and I was sitting there, ranging stuff. Saw that buck again, didn't know if it was a big buck or a small buck, just knew it was a buck, and I wanted to fill my tag, and I ranged it, and it was like 450 yards. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, up, or probably actually it was a little over, it was like 460 or something, but dialed up 1.5 mils. And then of course, one of the batteries in my camera died. So I'm like, dang it. And it had just gone behind some willows, ran up, got another battery, came back down, replaced the battery, and then just sat and waited. Fortunately, it ended up coming out again. But there it was, still at about that same range, like 460 or whatever it was. I was already dialed 1.5 mils, and I 100% had the confidence to break that shot. That honestly, otherwise, depending on the gun and setup, there's no way I would. This, I know, even from shooting a rock lake when I had pretty significant wind, it was more or less a headwind, bladed off a little bit. This thing bucks the wind incredibly well. And there was definitely a breeze this time as well. It wasn't like screaming or anything like that. But again, knowing your wind holds, everything like that, and just knowing the drop and what that bullet's going to do at different ranges, and having experienced it. Again, like the competence mixed, or competence along with the confidence in said gear. So could not have been happier with that shot. It ran, I don't know, I guess like maybe 30 yards or something. Basically as long as you can run holding your breath, and then it was done because it was double lung. And yeah, really stoked. If you're looking for an amazing place to hunt, whether it is, well, pretty much all big game, if you draw a moose tag, this is definitely a place for that, as well as elk, antelope, deer, whitetail, as well as some mule deer, bear. I think they have lions here too. Pretty much all the things. I would check it out. Joker's Wild Outdoors, amazing property down here, and just great people too. But there'll be a link down below if you want to check that out, or pretty much any of this other stuff too. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbachelor.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.